National security experts at the Heritage Foundation believe now is the time to reorient the U.S. relationship with Israel to an equal strategic partnership. CBN national security correspondent Caitlin Burke explains what that would look like.
The U.S. and Israel currently have what's considered a special relationship. First established by President Ronald Reagan in the 80s, every 10 years, the U.S. commits to a new Memorandum of Understanding, or MOU, which lays out how much security assistance will be provided to Israel for its defense. The current MOU expires in 2028, and the experts at Heritage recommend using the opportunity to forge a new relationship.
We just celebrated the 75th anniversary of Israel, and we've had a relationship since the beginning, and we're instrumental in the founding of the state. Heritage wanted to chart a course for the next 25 years to get to the first 100-year anniversary.
In a new report, Heritage lays out a blueprint for expanding ties with Israel, taking the relationship from one of dependence to the kind of strategic partnership we have with only our closest allies.
Steps should be taken by Israel and the United States to ensure that Israel is autonomous and independent and not dependent on the United States for critical munitions.
As a part of the Heritage strategy, by 2048, foreign military financing would be replaced with foreign military sales. Former Israeli ambassador to the United States, Michael Oren, has been pushing for this kind of transition for years, calling Israel's reliance on U.S. weapons a sort of Achilles heel.
I was the only member of the Israeli government to vote against the Obama package of 2016-2017. Precisely for this reason. I thought that if we ever get into a war, someone's going to say to us, well, you're doing things that we don't like, and we're going to hold up ammunition. And that's just what Obama did during the 2014 battle between Israel and Hamas. And that had a big impact on me, I must say. And I thought, oh, if we're ever in a bigger war, this could become a much bigger problem. And in fact, it was.
Oren pointing to the pause of weapons by the Biden administration during Israel's current war on Hamas over concerns about IDF operations in Gaza. The former ambassador voiced support for the new Heritage strategy, which advises the Trump administration to use the next Memorandum of Understanding to begin advancing Israel's independence.
If in a Trump MOU, a large segment of that money would not be just for the acquisition of arms, but for building these cooperation programs, for investing in joint research institutions, staffs, that type of investment, I think, would be a very good use of that money.
Robert Greenway, the director of the Allison Center for National Security at the Heritage Foundation, says Washington should also continue to grow security and commercial ties between the Jewish state and its Arab neighbors.
If we can work with Israel to expand the Abraham Accords and reduce the threat from Iran, surrogates and proxies, we could reduce the commitment on the Israeli side and the United States side for common defense. But we recognize that this is an aspiration, but it's something that we have to work together to accomplish. And we're putting a time horizon out there toward the 100th anniversary. So we're covering 25 years.
Greenway points to how Israel used to rely on U.S. economic assistance until a plan was put in place for that to end so Israel could flourish on its own. Now their economy is one of the highest performing in the Middle East. He expects the same to be true for defense. Caitlin Burke, CBN News, Washington.